This is the screen you see when you open methasoft, and if you look on the left here, you'll see your list of favorites. You want to make sure that these are all entered on the favorites bar that you can get to, and you can also see some of these present up here. So the first one would be dosing history for our imaginary patient, Ann Icteric. And since this is an imaginary patient, there's no doses here. But if she had been coming on a regular basis and then had been lost to follow-up, you would have seen that the date of dosing had suddenly stopped prior to today's date, and you would know that there was something wrong. You can also get dosing information. For example, for our patient, she is currently on 105 milligrams. She started on 35 milligrams. She started the clinic on April 26th. She is not returning. She's phase 3, which is something that you don't need to enter, and she is coming every day of the week, as we see this here. And there is no special information down here about prescriptions, so she's not getting any special medications. For drug screen results, we only have one, and this was an instant screen that was done in the office, so it's not from Redwood, but we can see that it's positive for benzodiazepines, methadone, and methadone metabolites, and it wasn't marked as being observed. And if you go down here, there were no special comments. If you look at flag patient, we can say, or we can enter one, we can say, for example, we want to see her tomorrow, so we enter a new flag, select all, and pick other, and then I'll type in patient must see me before dosing, and I'm going to ask her to see me on Wednesday, July 4th when we're not open, and she can't dose until she sees me, and the flag will expire the date after it's placed, July 5th. And let's say I'm not sure she's going to show up that date. I'm going to have that flag repeat every 7 days. So I go back to my favorites up here, and medication count I don't normally use. Order history, we can see all the orders that I've entered on this imaginary patient, and it looks like the last one that I entered was that she went on vacation for 9 days, and we'll come back to that. The next favorite window is going to be orders, and there are several different types of orders we'll talk about. There's going to be a custom order, a dosage change, a drug dose type change, and we don't normally use that, a schedule change where somebody either gains or loses take-homes, special takeouts, which is normally vacation, or for the pregnant patients when they have an OB visit, we give them an extra bottle, and then titrate up or detox down. And there are going to be 2 types of detoxes we're going to talk about. One is voluntary and the other is administrative. And then if you go to the prescription information window over here, this is what we would see if somebody had not been bringing in any bottles for pill counts. So if they had a positive prescription for opiates, there would be no justification for it other than illicit use. If somebody had been bringing Vicodin in, for example, this would be documented here, and we'll do some examples of that later on. Profile will give you the patient's social security number, the patient's birth date, marital status, and where their funding comes from. And finally, run reports is important because the different reports that we're going to talk about are down here. It's going to have patient lists with important dates and patient lists with important information, and we'll come back to that later.